All right. Sorry, I was a little bit late there. Having boy issues already. Um, yeah, talking to his mom. And then the birds decided that they wanted to go on like a full blown tirade. So I was kind of like, let's see. Um, yeah, we'll see. All right, so let's dive into it this morning. Will, I think it's awesome that you called out Neuro. I think he's late in logging in, but that's okay. Someone should give him a hard time. What do you mean? Oh, I can give subs. Um, yeah, I feel like, you know, yeah, it's one of those things. What is this? I don't know what this button is. Huh. I don't know what that is. Um, all right. So yeah, um, fun morning already. Lot of headlines, a lot of headlines, a lot of movement. Oil is literally, as I said, I'm making a T-shirt that says that it's a bacon grease on the mouse button. Slip. Somebody hit that sell button too quickly. Someone's getting in trouble right now, losing their job. Um, you know how it is. 11 a.m. today, we have crude oil. So I think crude oil could be. I mean, although it is crazy moving right now, I think the fact that it's minus 3.8 and it's coming at minus 2.8, and the fact that they have it at minus 5.9, I think there's the probability for a disconnect this morning. Right, there's a little bit of a disconnect between the API and the IA number. I mean, they're not the same. They're always a little bit off. But I feel like they're like a lot off today. So don't push that button. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Kind of one of those things. It's a little bit weird, but yeah. Um, again, a lot of headlines out of the ECB. Which is interesting. Like we're back. We're not tapering yet, right? We're going to be, and it says it's going to be, the fiscal support. We talked about how it was, what is it, rebalancing? What did she say? Where is that? I forget the word that she used for it. Talked about it like basically like we retargeted it, and you can see it here. We're going to continue with the support, but it's going to be more targeted. So they're taking their steps. Again, you can see that they're returning to economic activity to pre-pandemic levels. The euro's up a little bit. I would say it's more of a dollar issue right now. The euro really hasn't kicked in. The fact that they said that we just put in this new 3-month thing, and by the end of the year, so there's too many things pointing at the end of the year. So it seems like the ECB will go crazy by the December timeframe. So we'll see. Doesn't really help us with today's trading. Excuse me, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Euro pound being down 47. I told you guys yesterday, during the presentation, look for it. That was a great news release. You can see pound dollar up 87, euro pound down 47. It's awesome. Pound yen a little bit more tempered, but this euro pound down 47 is a big mover. And again, all stem from yesterday's monetary policy report. So nice little move from that one. And again, perfect Nadex trade setup. We were pulling right into a level at that time. It did go a little bit out of the backside of the level, as I'll show you guys in a bit. But it's perfect because with Nadex, who cares if it does that? That's fine, right? If it goes through the back end, nothing happens, right? Spot world, a little bit more problems, right? Oh wait, I see Neuro snuck in. Neuro snuck in. I was 1 minute late, so I figured I had time to sleep away a few. No. Neuro, if you let your guard down for 30 seconds, these guys will jump on you like vultures. It's like piranha, right? You mess up one thing. Ernest jumped all over me about the indicators. He's like, no, they're not 9:30. I'm like, they were when I went in. I'm like, I don't know. I changed them. And then he had to try it 3 times, and magically the third time was the charm. So is it the indicator's fault that hasn't updated, or is that an Ernest fault? I feel like that is if you do the same thing 3 times and then finally it works, I feel like it is one of those user errors. Blaming that one solely on Ernest. um, but yeah, I do think today at 12 o'clock, we also have a very, very interesting setup. Dollar CAD, it's down a little bit, right? And again, it's a dollar kind of move today. We'll see how this initial first surge works with the dollar. But again, these speeches and things like that have provided some pretty decent opportunity. So I think today with, again, that Macklin speaking, I think we may have some more opportunity there too. So it's kind of like a ping pong effect today with which country we jump on for what news. And I do think Canada will have their numbers are supposed to be good. Their unemployment rate is supposed to go down by 0.2 this week. So I highly doubt Macklin's going to be like, oh my God, it's horrible. But he's going to say the same stuff, right? Concerns over the coronavirus, the Delta variant. I mean, everything is just Delta. Like it's kind of like, I feel like if you start a speech and like they start an outline, they always got to be like, okay, well, we got to put Delta in there. We got to mention Delta, right? And now, with, Trudeau trying to pull his power play, and it's not working well for him so far. But obviously that's, causing some problems too. But again, we'll hear more about it. And then obviously the bond auction, but the bond auction is, I don't know. We'll see how far off it is. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, the last I checked, TLT wasn't really, it was having some issues, right? And I really feel like, so the hard part about bonds right now, right? So typically you tend to get more bond buying in the beginning of the year, not necessarily the end of the year, right? And what makes it a little bit difficult is as interest rates go up, bond prices tend to go down, right? It's kind of one of those things. It's kind of like, and again, 30-year is so long. I don't feel like it used to be that the 30-year was very, very big, right? A lot of people, not as far as big as duration, but of level of importance. And again, it's marked as a medium, right? Now with everything going on, I feel like everything is literally like a month-to-month basis right now. Like I feel like, I mean, when you're talking about rates and things like that going out 30 years, like, yeah, obviously it locks the rate and the rates don't change and everything like that. But it's like, I don't know. I mean, so much can depending on who you talk to, where they're going to be fully electronic in the Jetsons in 30 years or the world's going to be over. So I just feel like the durations of this one are a bit, I don't know. I feel like it's more of a near term that people are confused about, right? And seems to be like big, more of the focus right now. Tomorrow morning too, before we talk, obviously, ECB talking again, but here's all that the information I talked about. Unemployment change, again, it's positive, which is fine, but the unemployment rate going down 0.2, I think, can provide a lot of movement for, can provide a lot of movement for the Canadian dollar. Now, that coupled with the PPI data, again, I mentioned this in the NIGS presentation. The PPI data, they're just not great at forecasting it. They keep, I would say, projecting it lower, and it keeps coming in higher. Percentages, is it due to miss in the opposite direction? Probably. But again, remember, all this was supposed to disappear, and it's not disappearing. It's getting our prices that we're paying for things. It's nice to say, oh, the inflation, it's all sitting in oil. This is of like, goods and services. This is a leading indicator for consumer inflation, right? It keeps going higher. Where the heck is this transitory nature? So I don't know. I feel like, any beat up in gold today could lead to a significant amount of movement tomorrow. So yeah, I think that's going to be a big one. So we have 2 days to go in this week and a lot more big news to kind of get out there. So let's jump over. Look at that. There's oil. Oil's pulling back. Missed it by just a little tiny bit. Look at that. Oof. Actually, this should be, there's the wick right there. It was close. Super close. So anyway, let's dive over and let's do currencies first. All right. So we talked yesterday. Yesterday we were sitting, where are we at here? Back in this level, right? We're kind of just a little bit above where we were. We had that little area. We've touched it. We kind of hit it again and kind of pull back and hit it again and pull back. So we're kind of flirting with it right now. Right at this 73.89 level. I would say if you want to mark a level, there's probably a little bit of one here. And again, this is probably more set up for that 1030 reversal than anything else today. But again, we're kind of right where we kind of expected. I wouldn't say there's any great bit of movement. You can see in 24 hours, we're up 21, right? Just by a little bit. So it's all right. We did not end up hitting either area. I would say this is not a long, this would be more of a, like I said, a 1030 reversal. If we took it, actually, you know what? That's kind of my session open one. I need a different type of arrow. I guess I could use this one. Yeah, there we go. 1030 right there. So there would be kind of our 1030 reversal that we're looking for. And it's close. Like I said, the dollar being a little bit more weak, that's fine. I'm cool with that kind of pushing up. But that's about the only thing we have. Like I said, decent levels up here at 74.26, so 73.37, 37 at the bottom. Excuse me, not there. We just pulled away from it early morning today. and then about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and then just took off. So again, European session has been straight up, a little bit of pullback around 4:30. Right, but it's set up for a reversal back to the downside, and again, probably back into this area is where the first test would be. I don't see this one being an absolutely huge mover for today, but it may provide some decent opportunity if you guys are looking for something on the smaller end. Looking at also yen. So Aussie Yen had that quick strike through yesterday. It ended up going down to the 80.97 level, kind of right where that target was. And again, it hit it once and kind of came back down and based again. It did have this little kind of, again, kind of a little bit of a Harry Potter where it formed a base and then it kind of hit it again and hit it again. I wouldn't say that I'm really kind of sold on this one either way. I still think top or bottom is really where we want, and it's really just channeling sideways right now. I mean, yesterday at 10 o'clock, we were sitting up here. So it's kind of down a little bit, but by this, the end of this 10 o'clock window where it closed, right? We're kind of right there. So I wouldn't use this level as another sell level. It's already gone to its full profit target. We could use this level. I don't know. I would say this is not really a sell or a buy. It's kind of an area that I'd watch out for at this point. I would say there is going to be a small little hiccup level sitting in here, but I'm not in love with it. And again, this one literally just did nothing but roll off this bottom piece right there. I'm going to take this one off just to give us a little bit of clearance. I really, really, really want to put something here because, again, we had a nice push and then a drop and then a hit again. But the fact that it's kind of almost that identical top, and let's see how many pips it's out. It's only 13. Yeah, I think I would wait till we get a bit higher. Right. I think we wait. I think we look for the short. Again, we do have a potential long down at this level. Again, depending on how this level happens, but we got enough room right now that I don't feel like I need to really spend too much time on it. It's 60 pips to the downside, so we got some runners on this one. But I think important levels to watch are the 81.55. Obviously downside 80.59. I think, again, depending on the type of bounce that it takes, I think could be a decent bounce. And then again, a break of the 80.53, we're looking for a short. Absolutely. So, but right now, there's not really a ton in there. I'm shocked I didn't have that one marked off. I don't know why I didn't have that one marked off, but yeah, it was a roll. We're up a little bit from it right now, about 20. Euro pound, the big one, obviously, right? So we're looking for this one to push down again, and we talked about a level here where we had the 1, 2, and 3 touches. We didn't expect it to hold, and all it did was give us kind of a Harry Potter down. Wasn't the cleanest, and again, if we adjusted this, kind of like there's your level of basing. It's hard because it kind of came back up and did give us that kind of pullback, but again, was it there? We could have grabbed it, sure. All right, and now we're in a level here that when you look, this is an old area of interest, right? It was a top and got broken through and then was a bottom. So if anything, we're probably looking for this to continue lower down to here. And again, that was the target, the 85.36. You can see that we ended up coming down. So if you did get short from that level, it was about 25 pips. From the upper region up top, again, this one has been really, really pushing. And I would say probably the trade from yesterday was, about 70 pips to the downside on that one. This was a little area we had for kind of a target, and you can see that it actually did hold right in there, but we don't need it now. I would say it's not really enough, I don't think. No, it's only 19 to the downside. I would say expect this one to continue to push lower. If we'd get all the way down to 85.11, though, I do think that's probably a decent basing level to take this and kind of roll it back in the upper direction. So, take it for what it's worth. It's there. Do what you want. Do what you want with it, guys. I think 85. Right now, we need another 20 pips to the downside. We do have just 2 hours left to go, but I don't think the EU data was that bad, and the UK data was that great. I think after the move that it's had today with the pound across the board, I think we are due for a retracement. So again, if you're looking for a bit of a bounce, again, we could take a potential bounce off this level right here. Okay. Right. All right. Go again. All right. So Euro yen. We wanted to see how it based through this level, right? So we ended up going actually piercing all the way through, right? So we had a long here, and we were talking about this one with our stop entry. It turned here first, and then popped back up again. It's kind of like, all right, when it turns right before, we need to be cautious, and then it drove in and just kind of started to stabilize, which says, uh-oh, we're going short, right? So again, instead of the long on this one, we would have had the turn. Unfortunately, it kept going. We never even got an entry on the downside. So not much we can do. Now, you could have gotten short technically when it came back up to the 130.12 level. That was an area where we had an alert set. Just one of those things. It got enough momentum. And again, look at this. Chop, chop, chop. 3 hits, and you're like, yeah, it's breaking, right? It's breaking. And it did. It is down, what now? About another 28, 30 pips. And we knew we didn't really have a whole lot in here. We talked about the next level coming in for buyers. I would say with as much kind of, price destruction that this one has had, really 50 pips in the last, I don't know, what, hour, 2 hours? 129, I would say, let's move this down here. All right. I think this is kind of the next level that we'd be looking for some decent buyers to come in. And again, it's more just of a reversal, right? It's profit taking, right? It's been driven straight down. A lot of the news from the ECB is already out now, talking about kind of pushing it down, maintaining supply, not tapering. But has much really changed? No. I mean, they've targeted it, so it should be better in the industries that need it the most. So it should technically be, when people analyze it, it should be something that's more positive. So again, we got the breakthrough. We don't need the alert anymore, but I would say kind of watch out for that. I'm going to leave that area of interest up there. This I don't need anymore. Oops. Let's see on a 15. Yeah, there it was. Right there. There was your turn, and there was your pullback at 8. So I figured there was one there. All right, so 129.63. Look for this one to reverse again. Kind of profit taking from everything we've seen since really the initial push from yesterday. Euro dollar. Now, euro dollar, interesting enough, is a lot more choppy, right? We're looking for this to come up to 118.47. Still have been unable to get there. We kind of made an attempt, right, at that 7:30 window, and then all of a sudden it was like bam, 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 and now it's kind of poking back and forth. So, I would say watch out for this one. We had the alert set at 117.86. This, although it did not touch this green level, basically the 118 mark, it got so close to making the 118 mark. Again, a lot of basing here. There's so much. I mean, this shouldn't be green. This should be yellow. So much movement in here, and then touch, and you could say that this is another touch. So it's not something we want to take long. There are some buyers, obviously, that front run the zone a little bit at 118, but at this point, I look for it to come back down. I do think there's a reversal level in here. Again, maybe it's the buyers here, although they pushed it so deep, I think it's a lower probability. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes down and finds those same buyers. It's not a level that I want to get long from, right? I don't necessarily want to get long from it. I do think there will be a pop because, again, we're seeing where the euro yen was and the euro pound is. I do feel like there will be a reversal. Is it this level? It absolutely could be, but me personally, I'm not comfortable taking it because it's spent so much time here. Drove, literally kind of broke up by like a pip, and then got front run again. So there's probably some people there. Is it enough for me to place a trade? No, I think there's better opportunity out there right now. And again, if this doesn't roll, if the euro continues to be weak, based off of what we see tomorrow morning, because again, ECB is talking again. More Euro group meetings tomorrow. Set an alert for 117.86. If we break it, again, look at the racetrack. This is a beautiful racetrack. I'm all over this racetrack when we're able to break through 117.81. So, but again, set the alert for 117.86. Look for a continuation pattern. Now, could we use this level here? Now, again, do we wait for a true Harry Potter because this is so good? Maybe not. Maybe what we do is we look for this to push up. And then we use this level because, again, this is a level that has been definitely an area of interest and a hit, more or less hit. If it comes in and starts to base in there, maybe go a little bit early and assume that it's going to take this red zone to bounce off of, right? So maybe it comes in, it hits these guys, pulls back up again, grabs these old buyers, and now that they're the sellers, uses that. So maybe the Harry Potter adjusts higher. It's going to take a little bit more finagling, and we'll see what time of day we're able to get in that range. That's why I think setting the alert is really important. Now, Pound yen looks great, but we're kind of at the same place, right? We're sitting over here. So paper-wise, it's only up 23 and 24 hours. So it doesn't look like it's a huge mover, but you can see from the European session open, which is right here at 3 o'clock. session open right there, right? So again, it's been nothing but straight up since the session open, and it's up it was up at a high of 70 pips. Now, we did have a level here. It did start doing that basing right before, and you're like, yeah, okay. I would say this one is interesting because it's pushed up into the level. It hasn't really been able to break, and it just barely broke out of the top of that level at 152. It is a round number, right? It says 152.01 because, again, when I move it, moves back and forth just a little bit. It's having some major problems here. We've seen the pound really dominate the euro, and it's coming to a level, right? The euro is at a level in a few different places where it should start getting some strength. This is pretty much move straight up, right? Impulse, correction, impulse, and then correction, impulse. It's running into sellers. Eventually, this is going to hit an exhaustion level. There's a lot of junk up in here, unfortunately. So it's kind of like this was the best really kind of level that we had. We do know we have something up at 152.18 as well. So I'm kind of waiting for a top, and I'm looking to short this back down again. If it can make it up to the 152.41, I do like it for a short. But I'm really looking for that kind of failure to go higher scenario. We don't have it yet, right? We don't have it yet. So, with that being said, we do have some news over here. Wait, when did that come through? Sometimes this is weird. GDP estimates. Is it? Yeah, there it is. You got all this news. And again, GDP month over month, trade good balance. German CPI is not going to be big. Construction output, not necessarily big. Manufacturing production month over month is kind of a decent one. So they're not considered crazy numbers, but they're also, I feel like the way that they're set up for more of a disappointment because they're all supposed to be positive, right? So we get that disappointment. Again, that's leading us for a reversal, right? So again, 3 o'clock is right. I mean, really, if it's up here, if we can continue to push right there. So again, news is just slightly before, but watch out for this as being a big release and being a big rollover thing. So if we do nothing but kind of stabilize here, again, I'd look for it news-wise to go short. I'm actually I guess regardless, I'm looking more for short than anything else. All right. It's just finding the right level. And again, with all these ticks right here, if we get that failure to go higher, and unfortunately, the candles are just not giving it to us the way that we like it. I guess you could kind of say like on a 15-minute right there. But again, this is a green that's a little bit higher. So it's not quite there. Not quite there. But I would like to find an entry to short the pound. And it may take the news tomorrow to be able to do it. Pound dollar. Here's the monetary policy statement. We talked about it. And again, you guys can see with that low one, we talked about, Nadex. And we talked about the shorter durations. There's your 10. There is your 12 candle. And you can see that this one moved from that level up about 48 pips. So again, shorter duration contracts based off of something like a monetary policy report. You can see since that time, it's really done nothing but go straight up. We did have a little bit of a pullback again. This was the profit taking in the afternoon. And then as soon as the European session came in, right there, we've been straight up. And again, since the European session, it's moved 96 pips. The daily ATR right now for this pair is, I hate how it does that on the top. 77. So we are over 1. So got to keep that on our radar. Look at that too on a bigger time frame. We didn't slide this one across, but look at that. Went from blue, dove right into that little level that we talked about, the refine level on the bottom, and then boom, immediate spike back out, and now we're pushing higher. So yeah, this one has the same reversal. So we continue to push higher. Again, still about the equivalent distance. You're talking about 40 pips. Again, kind of that one up top. Let's see. This one will move more, but it's about, that one's only about 30 pips. So yeah, they're both kind of setting up for the same reversals. And again, tomorrow morning with their news, it is yellow, but after the news today and the big move, I think there's a definite possibility for a reversal. All right, so this is what we had yesterday. So we had that initial first level, and then you can see all heck broke loose. So that area of interest, and it's funny, that area of interest hit here, here, and here all over again. This top level got shredded. So as you can see, the data here, this is an absolutely insane candle from here all the way up. 117 pips. 117 pips, and it completely shredded that one. So I would say right now, we had this again. We had the Harry Potter level here. I would say, hmm, do we want to take that in the reversal? Hmm. So 12 o'clock today. 12 o'clock today, Macklin is speaking. Okay. That is right here. Right there. I don't know why I used that color would have worked. There. So we know we have him Macklin speaking right there. This was a level in the past. We could adjust it slightly. And again, it came through and worked out fine. If we base it off of trying to figure out if I want to use that one or not. I think this is another one of those trades where I'm gonna mark I'm gonna mark this entire level right there. Makes it a little bit bigger. This one is good. I don't need that. I'll take this. If we can get down to the 126.31, okay, it is 27 pips away. Okay. Can it move 27 pips in 2 hours? Probably the 30 minute is 15. So it has the ability to get at least close down to that level. I think that could be a reversal level today because, again, I feel like they're going to be extremely timid in his speeches. Anything about, yeah, Delta variant, we're still having problems, and they start highlighting the political election and the uncertainty around all that. As much kind of weakness as we've had in the dollar, that will probably also be in the reversal time frame. Coupled with them, and again, maybe they're like, "Hey, Canada's doing great, man. We're going to start raising interest rates. Woo! We're off to the races." And again, I don't know that it'll be that crazy because again, they do have a lot of uncertainty. I feel like if they talk about how, hey, listen, we're not tapering, nobody else is tapering, we still have this Delta variant thing that's causing problems and an election, and we're all screwed up. That should provide somewhat of a reversal level. And again, coinciding with news time, I think that gives us a bounce at 126.31. Could you use a short duration contract? Yeah, you could. Just be careful with it because again, Nadex like they have the spread way too big for what this one actually does. And again, I've sent messages in a million, and like even Dan has been like, "Yep, you're right." Yeah, cause lots of problems. So we're waiting for this to move. But I think it's a decent reversal level, and again, coinciding with news, and it's a level that we pulled back to and used before. I think it's provides a decent opportunity. Dollar Swiss. So Dollar Swiss had all these area of interests, and again, you can see it was a bottom, 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 hit it again, bottom, and now it's pulling back up again. We'll leave it there. I don't need the top one anymore. I still think this one. I would say that it's got some room to run. Again, based off of just kind of the simple fibs here, and again, you guys can see it. This is probably a bit low. 50 would be. We're kind of right at the 50 now, but it kind of went back again, so we'll just remove it. Kind of want to keep it because again, we hit it and then rode the top of it again. Oops. There's our downside target. There's our next long. Mhm. I don't know that I'm going to adjust anything on this one. I still think we wait for top and bottom. Um, a little bit of movement in here, but I don't really like the candle formation. It was a European-based move, and then 7 o'clock, but there's not really a good zone to pull from. Top side, it's kind of the same thing. We had basing and a nice push, but it's late at night. I don't really necessarily like it. So I think we're going to have to wait on this one. Again, aggressive short at 92.38, 92.46 up top. 91.08 again is the target down below. And I think we get longs at 90.86. So, dollar Swiss is down 29. Yeah, there's just not, I mean, I'm struggling using that level. Whoops, not 45. Yeah, we can't even see it on an hourly. Yeah, I just don't want to go too low. Be like, oh, it's red. Should I mark that one? Yeah, I mean it's a level, but again, it's are we creating a level that's not really there? Like, is it a lot of momentum? Is it crazy momentum? It's okay. I mean, it's a 9:30 release. Was it really kind of? I mean, it was already moving. That was kind of like an uncertainty level created at the open, but it just continued to push. Uh, I think really once we've had more of like a level of stabilization, kind of where we're at now, right? I mean, you can kind of put something here, right, and turn that red. I mean, I guess I can throw, kind of see where we go with it. How far does it need to move? Yeah, so it's an all right level. And again, 10 o'clock, I wouldn't say that it's horrible position. I wouldn't say that it's bad. But I would like to see the dollar really start to reverse and kind of push higher again. Um, yeah, I would really like to see it go higher I'd like to get us a bit before the weekend. I think I think tomorrow's PPI. I want this in the. Hmm. I'd like to get rid of this junk. I'd like to get rid of this junk and give us something clean. I almost just wanted to kind of spike and then give us a roll back over, but this will be one you look at tomorrow morning. I think I would be okay if we can get down in one of these levels, like in here, right? If we can get into there at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, if we can drive down enough in the overnight, I think those would be decent levels to get into before the PPI reading tomorrow. I just don't know if we're gonna have enough power to the rest of the afternoon today. Maybe. Euro yen. All right, so look at this. All this basing in here should be set up for a short. I mean, the profit target to the downside. This is supposed to be a hiccup, right? 91.45 is where we're looking for this to go down to, and it's trying. Look, you can see it pulled back and is making an attempt to push lower. Yeah, I mean, I'm not much in this one right now. I'm not really looking for a ton until we get lower. Look at this. It did a pullback. It just went a bit higher from yesterday. So, yeah. So mark your radar 110.40. 109.47 is kind of the target to the downside. And again, we're messing with this area of interest right now. But I would say 109.70, 109.60. I'm not a big fan of either of these two. It's kind of more like that. Yeah, down 49 from yesterday. So, yeah, it's the level we talked about. And again, we were looking for a Harry Potter break. That's why I had these two levels here, right? Oops. That's why we had this here, because we talked about the number of hits that we had 1, 2, 3, and we're looking for 4 hit to go through and pull back. It pulled back a bit further, but you can see it had that continued crash to the downside to the next target. So, unfortunately, you may not have gotten into that one short. It went where we talked about yesterday, but yeah. I would say if you're still short, take it all the way down to 109.47. I'm not sure of that position though. So, all right, let's look at gold or oil. So, oil is literally turning. Let's wait on oil. Actually, you know what? Let's go to indices real quick. We'll do indices real quick. All right. So, we talked about yesterday. Yesterday we were flirting with right here, and we came down. We touched the 4,500, and we touched it again, and we came over. We based at it. We came back up and touched it again. So, it obviously likes 4,500. We had this level here up top where we talked about this one being kind of a potential rollover, and that was one from yesterday, right? Zone, touch, and again, this would be another touch. We already got this pop, so I'll just remove some of these now just to keep this clean. I don't need that anymore. Again, that one's out as well. All right. I mean, right now it's more set up for a short position. It's something we talked about. It turned, and unfortunately, it missed it by just like the smallest of margins. This zone was not adjusted. Technically, we should have adjusted it here off of this flat. There's where the touch is, and it would have hit. We'll see if this one continues to roll. If anybody is short this one, again, just be cautious. Trail your stop. 1 to 3 is there. So again, parabolic move. Coming back again at 9:30, drove us right into that zone at 10 o'clock. Is this the time for a reversal? It's it's set up for one, so not much else we can say. Again, a lot of movement very, very fast. This is the weakest of all of the indices right now. And again, it's my data's delayed, but it's only up 0.18 versus everything else. That is 0.23, 0.25, and 0.32. It's a decent level. It's all right. We kind of need some. We kind of need some news. Some news. Trouble ahead for the pound. Yeah, it's kind of what we were talking about. Yeah, nothing else. All right. So we'll see. It's okay. Like I said, I like this one more at the open than anything else. Open trade, unfortunately, we would not have gotten into anything on this one. NQ, kind of the same thing. You know, NQ, we actually have a level to go long. Again, an alert set at 15,700. This one is kind of hitting this level here and kind of doing the same kind of reversal back again. We'll see if it actually clears it. And it's delayed. It may already be through. So again, we were able to get the short in, and we got the push down. We came well beyond our level. Look at that. It's touched it a million times at this point. Look at the space, touch, base in, and touch. Man, that was a 9:30 touch this morning too. There are people that got into this Harry Potter, right, coming through. We refine it off of that level. Yeah, nice little open Harry Potter. Let's see, how many points was that? 44. That's a decent push up. Yeah, that was decent. Again, area of interest level. And you guys can see it here, see it all here, touched here, bounced here, bounced here. We refined it off of this level here when it popped and tested. Came through. Again, bottom, came up, one candle base, pull back, and then drive forward. So again, opening trade there in the NQ. Hopefully some of you guys took advantage of that one. Nice little pullback for the open. Yeah, and kind of line up the same way. I don't know what it's doing right now yet because it's delayed. Not through yet. Okay. YM. 35,000. Look at this. And then took off. This one also had kind of that same pullback, although I don't know, you had to be really aggressive to take that one. That's a pretty aggressive grab, especially with the descending, ticks here. I would say if anything, I'd say the next level up top is really kind of sitting over here. Again, set up for reversal right around that 35,155. Okay. So again, they're all kind of set up in areas where we've seen previous sellers. We'll see if 1030 is a magic number for the reversal today. They're all kind of set up. So the Russell did not have a 9:30 session open. It did not have an opening trade, although it's gone straight up. I don't really need this one now, although it's worked on both sides here and here. I don't like the wicks in here. These wicks are just crappy. I don't know. It's all right. Like I said, it's got a bit more room to run on this one. I mean, you're talking about another 19 points higher before its reversal level. There's probably some sellers sitting in here somewhere. Maybe sitting in that level, but the fact that it pushed it like literally to the last 5 or 10%, I don't know. I wouldn't look at this and be like, yeah, I love this one. This one is nice. It's okay. Like I said, I just haven't been as impressed lately with Russell. Yeah, probably that level. Like I said, it's the only one that didn't have the opening base trade today. So yeah. All right, oil. So yeah, oil is rallying all the way back again. So it came all the way down. It grabbed those same buyers that we saw back here on the 7th, right? That same group in that kind of test. That's what it ran into. So we need to talk about this bacon, just in case anyone was wondering about the parabolic, which it looks like. Oh, this, yeah, the money in the James is doing his walk again. His this is James. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, I had to get in there for James. But yeah, definitely a parabolic move back again. We're still early. Remember, it's an 11 o'clock. I just forgot that it's an 11 o'clock entry for this one right now. I say this one. I think this one we got what 45 minutes to go. I think this one has the ability to come all the way back up top, kind of erase that whole thing. So, I think this is the confirmation that it was absolutely without a doubt a greasy finger, right? A bacon grease finger on the button, right? Billions of dollars lost by somebody, and then his price rallied all the way back up again. So I think this one comes back up, and again, based off of what the number is, I think this is going to be a huge miss today. I don't know how the EIA and all that. I don't know how they could be off by that much. Gold is really doing its thing. It dropped, came right back up again, almost to the 1800. Came back up to 1799, and then we've pushed back down, and it's the same level. We've hit. This is where we've been. I think tomorrow's PPI number is the more important piece of it. If we can get down to here by tomorrow, I think that is an absolutely phenomenal place to go long. I think that's great. I think PPI will help with inflation. If they miss the top side again, it's really hard to say. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? This is a very, very, very political based number at this point, because remember, this is what you and I are paying for goods and services. This is not what oil is coming in, because remember, most of oil is actually in your state taxes, not in the actual price of oil itself. If you look to see how much is actually taxes, it's taxes more than anything else, right? And there's the base change and things like that. They're saying that, it's just oil. I mean, it's just energy cost. Yeah, it's just energy, right? That's where inflation is. But every single month, the cost of goods and services for us to buy has been going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. If this continues, I'll tell you right now, the people this is hurting the most is the people that are not making as much money. Biden is going to have a major problem on his hands the higher inflation goes. And he's kind of in a catch-22. He's kind of screwed either way. If he continues to let inflation go higher, because everybody keeps saying it's transient, it's going to go away, right? How much longer are people going to tolerate them doing nothing? And of course, Biden will just blame it on, this is Powell. He's bad. It's all his fault, right? But at the same time, as if they raise the interest rates and he crashes it, he's going to blame somebody else as well. So kind of one of those things. This is becoming a political thing here. And again, if this September number is higher yet again, meaning we're paying more, and the Fed just recently let the unemployment benefits kind of lapse. We're over that cliff now. Oof, it's kind of a bad one. So, if this gets down to the 1772, I think this is a great opportunity for us to get long gold again. And again, taking a 30-point move in gold back up to 1800, I think it'd be a big move. It could be great. I think this is a wonderful one. So yeah, I think there's some potential there, guys. And we'll see if we can break through this kind of level. Silver is kind of having the same hiccup. Silver had a little bit better of a top, right? You can talk about kind of this level right here that silver was at. It was a level that we had to pull back and a very, very nice push away before. Kind of gave us a nice one today. And then again, that 9:15, 9:30 window, nice drop to the downside. So silver actually did, pay off today. If you've been watching this one, the 1 to 3 is right there. Right. So the 1 to 3 is there. Again, I think silver does continue to fall today. There's not really anything really technical wise to get down to it. I think 23.81 is on the radar. We're right at that 24 level right now. Again, it's going to have a hard time breaking through because it's like, wait, but it's 24. It's 24. 23.86 is kind of where I see this one being. Now let's check natural gas. Yeah, so natural gas, you can see we're kind of on this cliff right now. There's a bit of a level sitting right in here, which is kind of like, yeah, we got to talk about it. I think we can see it on the 30. You can't really see it. You can see it's just a wick on the 30. But it's kind of, this is where we're at right now, right? We're sitting there, right? There's that little level right below, but God, is this a heck of a racetrack. I mean, this is a parabolic move straight up from 9:15 yesterday. And we keep hitting the level, hitting the level again. The news today, let's see, what is the forecast? Let's do non-US. Oops, that's tomorrow. Yeah, it's supposed to be 38 billion. So, I mean, it's showing like an increase of what we were previously. And Todd and I talked about this. We have absolutely no shortage of natural gas. We have some of the largest natural gas reserves in the world. So it's like basically us and Russia have most of the natural gas. Like we are the Middle East, basically. like for natural gas. So the fact that the price is this high is literally this is like war profiteering. There is, I told him, I'm like, there is no other way. And again, here I'll do this on like a weekly basis, right? There is no other way to define this than war profiteering, right? I mean, we were down here at 160 June of last year, right? So in a year from where we were last year, it's straight up. They don't do natural gas in the Middle East, guys. This is just 100% like there's nothing. All the pipelines we're in, we're not buying stuff from Canada. This is all coming from the United States. War profiteering. And the fact that Brian needs to fill up the propane tank. That is all this is. And like I said, I'm having a very difficult conversation with my guy because I filled up in February, or he told me, he's like, hey, it's expensive right now, don't fill up right now, it's it's winter prices. Now the price is like twice as high as what it was back then. And the guy was like, no, just do it in the fall, it'll be cheaper then. Yeah, right, dude, it's twice as high. So yeah, it should be down here, right? Let's see. Yeah, last year this time it was $2 and he told me not to fill up in the beginning of the year because it was expensive. Yeah. So I can't wait to have that conversation. I'd be like, yo, let's talk. Let's see if this is at a level of stabilization and what it's doing. Yeah, it's really flirting. Look at that. It's really flirting. If we drop this down on a 5-minute level, it's really, really testing this level. Hitting it again, hitting again, hitting again, hitting again. Not stabilizing on a 5-minute yet, though. Yeah, kind of stabilized a little bit. Right there. It is stabilizing. Now, I'm not going to let it get me this week, right? I'm going to remember that the D is there, so the price is actually moved. Let me see. Because last week I had the great setup, but I didn't counter. I didn't go for the delay. Let me see here. I hate that I have to click on 10 Nadex charts. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like it's already pushed down a bit. So it's already kind of breaking a little bit lower. So yeah, so it's looking like, and this is a weird one. And I'm going to say this right now. And I know I say that it's weird every week, but again, this is just trading, right? If we refine it a little bit on the 1 minute, we can get more of the basing. Normally, we're looking for it to pull into a level that's fresh. I don't think, I mean, there is no debate that this is not a fresh level. Spent all this time here, kind of got front run. We hit it, we drove deep in again, we hit it again, we hit it again, we hit it again, we're hitting it again. So is it the ideal situation for a long? Not so much. It has pulled back into a level, but this level has been literally beat 9 ways the Sunday at this point to the downside. So, on a purely technical basis, not the news-based strategy, it is more set up for a short, right? Because it is just this level has been decimated. We know we have a racetrack area to kind of take over. It rose price higher. It jumped the day before the inventory report, which typically is a good telltale sign that it's coming back again for a parabolic move. It's kind of set, right? It's kind of set. Oof, this one is a rough one. And like I said, we've been so good at these lately. I'm like afraid to say take this one short. Sleepy Joe, stop drilling. There's your sign. Yeah, but we didn't. But that's the thing, Eke. We didn't have to. We didn't close down natural gas plants, right? Natural gas is considered clean energy, so he's not going to halt clean energy. He doesn't like oil because oil is dirty, right? Oil is like the pork. Is like pork of the of the commodities realm, but natural gas is clean. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like, oh, really all the gases, right? Right. So it's kind of natural gas is getting jacked up because of Joe, right? Because he let the oil, it's kind of like, oh, energies. Once you hear that energies are, once you hear that energies are all that inflation, the natural gas guys are like, well, I want to get in. I want to make some bank on this, right? That's kind of the true problem, right? But we got plenty of natural gas. We are no shortage of natural gas whatsoever. Natural gas we got. We are good here, right? But yet the price is double. Why? Because of, well, wait a second, oil's making all that money. So they gotta do the same thing with natural gas. Yeah. So tired. We lost our game last night, but I didn't get back till like 11:30. And of course, the baby was awake, and she's like, "Daddy, I'm hungry in my tummy." So I had to take the baby downstairs and feed her till midnight. So I went to sleep like after midnight with the baby because she was hungry in her tummy. Um, Guys, I like this one for more of a short. Like I said, we typically wanted to pull back into a zone right before news and stabilize. It's given us a little bit of stabilization. Again, seeing it down on the 1 minute, it's stabilizing on the level. Had this level not been hit 27 times already, I would say that, yeah, this is definitely set up for a long. It's kind of one of those things. I like it for more of a short than anything else. And like I said, it is pulling back into a level. It is stabilizing at that level, but it's just the fact that the level has been hit so much. I'm not as necessarily, and again, I could be wrong this week. Maybe it does just go higher, but I would say that, again, with any type of a clean break below, we got 3 minutes to go. I would say that I'm feeling more to the downside than anything else. That's my take on it, that it goes down. It's just my take on it. Like I said, only because, again, on a purely technical basis, it's hit this level so many times. It's kind of, how much does this level have left on it, even on a 1 minute? I mean, it's hit it, it's hit it, it's hit it, it's hit it, it's hit it. They're buyers because they haven't, the price hasn't gone through yet, but I just feel like this one it's gotta, I feel like it's gotta go. Um, again, we're dealing with a parabolic move, and again, maybe this is the week that we're finally wrong on it. Again, the 1 to 3 brings us down to, get us out right where these buyers had stepped in the past. But look at this. This is just such a big parabolic move. And, again, we had kind of a re-entry early this morning. And again, if it doesn't break through, it's no harm, no foul. We didn't place the trade. If it just suddenly starts to spike. And again, look at this. It just hit it so many times. It's just not clean enough for me to take the long. I like it more for the short than anything else. And, basically, if it gets down to the 48 mark, right? The 480 mark, that would be where you're out. So just my take on it. Let's check oil real quick and see if there's anything else with oil. Actually, let's see. I'm more curious for TLT. Yeah, TLT is pushing up again a little bit, but we're in a level. We're going to have some problems. Go back to oil real quick. Yeah, oil's having some issues right there with that little wick. Oil is back at the same price the European session started at, all the way back. So, look at Apple's got a lot of indecision in it right now as well. Look at that, kind of smashed in there. Tesla's up in a zone as well. So I'm looking at this to see kind of, again, this data is not delayed versus the indices, but being up in levels like this, if these two start to roll, NQ follows right behind it. NQ was the weakest of the group. So, yeah, interesting. All right. Let's go back down to natural gas. See what natural gas is doing. All right, go ahead. Let's do the drawing, and then we'll kind of see how natural gas turns out. So, Neuro won yesterday. So, Neuro is going for victory number 3 for his 250. Because he was on the double yesterday, so he's going for his 350. Look at this. Everybody, man, they're letting Neuro stack the odds in his favor. Look at this. I feel like they're like, it's kind of like, let's go for like, it's like the super heavyweights fighting, right? I feel like it's the super heavyweights fighting at this point, So, all right, let's close it down. Let's see. Can Neuro, with statistics on his side, right? Neuro has statistics on his side, right? This is pure statistics. This is what we talk about. Stacking the odds in your favor. Let's see, with 7 in, Neuro has 3, so he should have over a 30% chance of winning. Let's see if Neuro can pull it off, or if there's an up. Everybody likes the upset, right? Everybody likes the upset, right? All right. Winner of today's drawing is statistics. 33. Look at that. I said 30%. 33.33% chance of winning today. With statistics on his side, Neuro takes his 3rd victory. Right? Ooh. Wow. With that said, let's check this out right here. Neuro gets his 250 for victory number 3. Remember, it does reset for tomorrow, though, so he can't win a 4th time. Well, he can, but doesn't get the points. Look at this. He's taking it within 3 hundredths. 3 hundredths. Well, come on, guys. You can't be upset. He had a 30% chance of winning, a 33% chance of winning, right? Everybody else had like an 8% chance of winning, right? I mean, he should have won That's what statistics tells you. He had the greatest probability of winning. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I got to side with Neuro on this one, guys. You guys let him take it with just one ticket in there, right? You know, one ticket, you let him take it. What'd you expect? Wow, 52. That was a huge difference. Oh, they're gonna bust some short sellers on that one. Yeah, they're gonna bust some short sellers on that one. I'm watching the price. So the price initially dropped down to what, 482? Now it has spiked back up again. Right? Everybody's hitting the sell button. Everyone's like, short it, short it, short it. Yeah, they're making some money off these guys. Ouch. Dread it, run from it, Destiny. Oh yeah, the girl. Oh, that's it. Now the girls are joining forces. Yeah. Anyway, guys, watch out for this natural gas number. It's interesting. It took an immediate. They are going to pop short sellers left and right because this is such a big miss on this one. And again, it was set up for that short. Again, it should have been negative, right? Everybody and their brother is trying to short this one. So again, yeah, look for this one that kind of dropped to the downside. But again, Nadex kind of a news release there. And again, initial pop to the downside. But whoo, those short sellers. That's who they're going after right now. Big miss, huge inventory rise. So yeah, we'll see. Man, look at this pound is just running wild. Let me go back to the pound real quick. Pound is running wild. Oh, it's from the actual release. So yeah, it's getting there. Look at that. Oh, on the 30-minute, you can see it. The short level right there. Oh, come on, just pop for me, baby. Pop. I know, right? Yeah, I know. You gotta watch. Honestly, when the girls start getting vocal neuro, they tend to start winning again. So can't say anything else. Yeah. So. All right, with that said, I'm out of here. I got to go deal with my ex-wife. I told her we have to revisit the custody situation because Asher had a meltdown. Not a meltdown, but is having an anxiety attack by going back to his mom's again. Kid came home yesterday. He said actually both boys said that their favorite class yesterday was Chinese. They were both happy about it. Go back to mom, and now one kid's up half the night with a stomach ache and has an anxiety attack. So it's like, really? So I'm going to go deal with that stuff. And again, I will catch you guys tomorrow. Don't forget, guys, PPI tomorrow. I think that's going to be a big one. Like I said, this is one of those ones that they're forecasting, for lack of a better word, sucks. And again, showing higher inflation yet again. I mean, Bostic today is like, nah, we can wait longer. I'm telling you, people are going to start getting pissed off that the more and more expensive things get. So we shall see.